So welcome to this special training, guys. I have on the line with me my good friend Bobby Rio. We've been in this business really about the same amount of time, over 10 years at this point. And I wanted to assemble this special call, this training, because Bobby and I have some very special tactics to share with you, some advanced maximum strength tactics, as I say. And I call these extreme income multipliers. These are ways for you to take your sales that you're making the digital product and ignite them and scale it up to a whole new level. Now, I wanted Bobby on this training because Bobby actually has a lot of experience with teaching people how to drive sales. Now, Bobby has just begun as far as coaching internet marketing, but one thing he's done very well over the years is he has trained his own affiliates on how to make more sales of his products. So when you're an affiliate on ClickBank and you want to promote one of Bobby's products, mostly in the men's dating niche, Bobby will provide you with tips and techniques that he's used to make sales. And on this call, he will share some. So welcome, Bobby. Good to have you back speaking to me.
Cool, man. Yeah, I'm excited for this. I think we have a lot of ways, we talked about in the webinar we did together that our goal really is to get them to make, a few sales a day, right? Because that adds up to hundreds of thousands of dollars a year if you can get that going. And there's so many different ways that we can get them there to just 2 or 3 sales a day and way more than that as well.
That's right. In fact, in that webinar, which was for the Passive Income Breakthrough course, you broke it down brilliantly. You actually said, if you only make 1 or 2 sales a day consistently, which is really not much at all, this is how much you stand to make in a year. And then the following year, you make, say, 5 sales a day, and you'll make this much. Especially when you add in stuff like the membership program material that you teach, how to add recurring billing to your products, so it's all very powerful stuff. So let's start off this call by talking a little bit about some tactics to help our students get started, to really guarantee that they will not just put up a product on ClickBank and watch it sit there and make no sales, but they'll actually start driving, 1 or 2 or 3 sales a day consistently. How would you coach a person in that position to get started with those initial sales, but consistent sales?
So what I always tell, and you kind of mentioned earlier that I train my affiliates, and my goal with training affiliates is very similar to what we're doing here. Is I want to get them making a few sales a day, right? Because I know if they're making that, they're going to wind up making, $10,000 a month, and then they're going to get excited and they're going to make even more sales. But what I tell them, and the same thing I'll tell the guys listening right now, is that you really want to look at where traffic already is and then tap into that. Because if you're just getting started and you say, well, I'm going to create my own website or my sales page and hope that Google delivers traffic to me or hope people find me, that's not really going to happen, right? You've got to look at the internet and go, where are people already? And to give you some examples of where people already are already on YouTube, right? People are already on Facebook. People are on sites like forums, like Reddit. They're on, whatever niche you're in. There's probably a forum out there on that, right? So if you're in the, in the how to overcome anxiety niche, there's probably dozens of forums where there's thousands and thousands of people already there, right? So what you want to first do is figure out where are people already, and then figure out how can I get in front of those people now, right? So like we mentioned YouTube, and YouTube is one of the things I tell, and this is, one of the first things I tell my affiliates is that YouTube is the easiest place in the world to get traffic, because there's like, what is it, Rob? Like probably 1 billion people a day on YouTube. I mean, the numbers are just...
I've even been told that YouTube is the number 2 search engine in the world. And among people under a certain age, maybe it's under 30, that's YouTube is what they use as a search engine rather than Google when they want to find out information on something. And here we are selling information products. So YouTube is sort of the ultimate search engine for what the kinds of products that we sell.
And it's completely free, so it doesn't require advertising. Me and you right now, we're using a free service, right? This is called Zoom. We're talking here. We're doing this. We're creating this piece of content. Now, this content is for a program that we put together. But if people are wondering, how can I create a video to put it on YouTube? I mean, it's this simple. It doesn't require It doesn't require fancy equipment. It doesn't require anything. You can literally talk into your laptop like we're doing and create a YouTube video. And if the content's good enough and people are searching, so if you have let's go back to the anxiety thing. If you're selling an anxiety reducing course, and then you realize, well, there's 20 different elements of anxiety that people tend to deal with, right? Maybe there's social anxiety. Maybe there's questions like, I'm going to a new social event and I'm nervous of how to interact. There's all these, you make a list of all the different topics within what you sell, and then you create short little videos about them, very targeted to very specific elements of your program. And then you upload those to YouTube and people find them. And what I consider, we kind of talked a little bit about the idea of building assets, right? And to me, a YouTube video is an asset because you record it once, you put it on YouTube, and then it's almost like a toll booth where for the next, I have videos that I created probably 7, 8 years ago that just continue to get more views. And of course, not everybody that watches your YouTube video is going to buy your product, but it gets them to join your email list. If you have an opt-in form or you give something away. So you create a YouTube video and you give out your 3 tips for anxiety. And then at the end of the video, you say, hey, if you'd like to get my 3 more tips, put your email in below, get on my email list. And I have this free report or whatever you want to do. You get them on your email list and then you can sell them that way. So YouTube is definitely, if you're not like all my affiliates who are doing very consistent sales, they're almost all utilizing YouTube.
Yeah. And just to be clear, the way it works is below your video on YouTube, there's a description box and you can enter a whole bunch of text in there. You can write, do you want to learn the rest of my tips on anxiety, conquering anxiety? Click the link. And YouTube lets you put a link in there to a page on your website where you can have an opt-in form to have them sign up. You may want to just send them directly to your sales page, whatever turns out to work best for you. And then, of course, on screen below, at the bottom of your video, you can put your domain name, your URL on there. YouTube is totally not anti-marketing. Unlike Facebook, YouTube lets you just market the hell out of your stuff, and it's all free. Yeah. And YouTube is the videos load so fast, they play so well, they play on any device out there. It's the perfect vehicle to start getting free traffic to your site.
Yeah, and it's actually a great combination because one of the other ways that you can drive traffic, right? We're talking about various ways. One of the other ways that you can drive traffic is using, like I mentioned, forums. There's another site that's really good, Quora. Are you familiar with that site, Rob? Quora?
Yes. Yeah, Quora. Yeah.
Yeah. If you Google literally anything, right, you're going to find Quora, right? So if you Google how to overcome anxiety, one of the things is going to be a question. Quora is essentially you ask a question and then people in the Quora community answer that question. So you're actually getting people, you're getting in front of people. Whoever asked the question is obviously very interested in the topic, but then people searching, let's just say, how to overcome anxiety, they see a Quora question, they read all the responses, and if you leave a response, you're going to not only respond to the people there, but you're also going to respond to people searching because Quora results show up in YouTube on the first page, right? If you created your own website. Google.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. If you created your own website and you had an article about overcoming anxiety, it probably wouldn't show up on the first page of Google for a year or so, if you ever get there, because there's so much competition. But because Quora is such a respectable site, it's so popular that anything you search is going to show up on probably the first page of Google for that term. And here's where YouTube plays into this, right? Because if you go onto a site like Quora and you answer the question and then you say, hey, I have an ebook for sale, people are going to get it. It's not really classy to do. You don't want to go on the forums and just start spamming them with links to your ebook sales pages. However, what you can do on these forums, because forums are really about answering a question, is let's say you have a YouTube video that gives 3 tips to overcome social anxiety, and then you find a Quora post on social anxiety. You can give a little bit of an answer, and then you can say, hey, I actually put together a YouTube video about, giving my 3 top tips, right? So now people go from Cura, you gave a little bit of an answer that was kind of interesting. Now they go to your YouTube video. Now you give you even more interesting stuff that is helpful. And then from the YouTube video, then you send them to your sales page. That way, not only are they getting to know you and your expertise before they even get to your sales page, but also it allows you to spam Cura without getting negative feedback, because you're actually providing value by giving them a link to a video and not a link to sell them something.
Right. So I guess we covered YouTube a bit. I'm using it a lot more myself these days. Really, guys, just to mention this, the key to getting ranked high on YouTube, it really is about engagement. I talked to a top expert. This guy hangs out at Google headquarters, and Google, of course, owns YouTube. They're all in bed together. But he was telling me that really he reviewed some of my videos that weren't really getting much traction. They weren't really getting many views. And although the information in my videos was really tremendous, I was getting great content about internet marketing. But he was able to look at the analytics, and the drop-off was so steep. They would start off here, and then after like 15 seconds, it would crash, because your opening, it has to be on point. You've got to pull them in, engage them, and then deliver some good content. Just a little extra tip there about YouTube.
Yeah. Here's a tip. Let me follow up with that tip, Rob, because
sure.
What Rob just said was so true, that one of the things that I started doing because of that is, because normally you start a video off and you're like, hey guys, I'm blah, blah, blah. We're going to be talking about blah, blah, blah. And people they don't have the attention span for it. So what I started doing was I had my video editor find like one of the most interesting kind of, not necessarily shock worthy, but probably like, I have them go through the video and I find like a clip, right? That's like something that I know is immediately going to get somebody's attention. I take that clip and I put it at the beginning, so that as soon as they turn on the video, it's me saying the most interesting thing in the video. And then I go to the intro. Then it's kind of like a short little teaser clip. And then it starts the intro. That way they know they're going to be getting something. That way you're showing them right away they're going to be getting something good. Because it's so true what you said. If they drop off, then YouTube winds up. And that's why these like fancy intros and stuff actually hurt you. And I think we even talked about this in the web class that we did together, that sometimes it hurts you because people don't want to sit through a 30-second fancy intro. They just want the information you're going to give them.
That's right.
Give it to them quicker.
The other thing this expert told me, interestingly, was you might not have thought of this, but the thumbnail image is crucially important. When you enter a topic on YouTube in the search and get the search results, the thumbnail image is the image you see of the video. It's like a screen capture shot. Every video listing has a thumbnail image, and the thumbnail image is critical as far as grabbing somebody's attention and making them want to click there. So to that point, I would say look at the top videos on your topic on YouTube, and look at other thumbnails are done. If that person making that video has a grasp on YouTube marketing, you'll often notice the thumbnails are often done in a very similar way. A lot of them I think are using Fiverr, hiring, they're getting cheap graphics made for these thumbnails, but not a lot of text, maybe like 3 to 5 words in a big bold font, and then some kind of eye-catching image. And that's one of the tricks to creating a good thumbnail image that gets the clicks. I had tons of I had thumbnails originally that were crammed full of words like Rob Wiser reveals 9 tactics for effective internet marketing, and this expert looked at that and said, that's your first mistake. No one is going to click on that image. So totally changed them around. So let's move ahead to what I think is the biggest income multiplier of all, and that is besides conquering the world of buying traffic, really, to us, in the way we came up through the ranks in this business, the biggest income multiplier is getting affiliates on board to promote you. So you've probably heard the term affiliate marketer or affiliate before. In case anyone out there is not aware of what this means, there are a lot of marketers on ClickBank that are in the business of promoting other people's products. So they may have their own products as well. I mean, Bobby and I promote other people's products to make money, and we sell our own products to make money. But the best money, the easiest money comes when ClickBank affiliates come and promote us. So these random strangers, we don't even know who they are. They are taking our products, we're giving them their links and whatever they need. We're giving them emails to send out to their email subscribers. And they are promoting our products all over the internet and making sales all day. And we pay them a very handsome commission for each sale that they make. And one of the great things about ClickBank is we're never having to worry about who we owe money to or mailing checks to our affiliates. ClickBank handles it all automatically. So anytime somebody makes a sale of my product, ClickBank pays them their commission instantly and then gives me the rest. And then ClickBank takes a small fee, of course. But it's a beautiful system. Now, the thing is, and Bobby and I have discussed this many times over the years, there's a right and a wrong way to go about trying to get affiliates to promote your product. And I would say 98% of marketers really have no idea. These people create products, and then they spam people like Bobby and I with these dumb emails saying, will you promote my product, basically. We have no idea who this person is. We have no idea if it's worth promoting. We certainly don't want to review some guy's 300-page ebook. We don't care. We want to know, is this going to make us money? And is our list going to like this? Or are we going to piss them off by promoting some real junk? So this is where I want to get some tips from you, Bobby, on affiliate marketing, specifically how to get affiliates to want to promote you.
It all starts essentially, right? I mean, this should go without saying, but we have to say it. Your product has to convert, right? Mm-hmm. It has to make money, which means you have to spend time. I know when people bought the passive income breakthrough, that you have a section on there on copywriting, correct?
Yeah.
And that is essentially the most important thing of selling your product, right? Nothing else matters. I mean, even as good as the product is, it has to convert. So you definitely want to spend time going through that section on copywriting and making sure that when somebody sends somebody to your product, that it will sell. Because there's a saying in affiliate marketing that you only get one chance to make a first impression. You don't get a second chance. So if you go to affiliate and he does say, hey, okay, I'm going to promote your product, and then he makes like no sales, you're not going to get a second chance, right? He's not going to like promote it again just to be a good guy. Like he's in it to make money. So you have to make sure that your product converts. And the great thing about a product that converts is that it spreads very, very quickly. So if your product converts, people like Rob and I, we talk all the time, right? Because we both have similar businesses. And we'll say, hey, any new products out there doing well for you? And then Rob will say, oh yeah, I just promoted this product and it did really well. My list loved it. And then I'll just go and I'll promote it. Simply, I'll go to ClickBank. I won't even talk to the guy who owns the product. I'll just go, oh wow, your list liked it. You made money from it. I go and promote it. So, I mean, step number one really, really, really is, and I know Rob experienced this himself because he had a product in the health market where, I mean, you literally put it on ClickBank. It was a very well-written sales video. You put it on ClickBank and affiliates just found you because they tested it out on their own. It converted. And next thing you knew, you were doing what, like 90 sales a day or something like that, just from affiliates?
Yeah, they were talking, they have their own online mastermind groups and their own forums, like we were talking about. Affiliates have their own forums too. And they're always looking for new hot stuff to promote. Now, the question a lot of people are going to be asking at this point, Bobby, is that, okay, so I have my product and I want to approach affiliates and I want to have a high converting, awesome offer, but how do I test it? I don't have a list. I don't really have a lot of friends in this business yet. How can I get my offer up to speed without burning affiliates who are going to promote it and then possibly fail, bomb?
So, I mean, there's a couple ways to do that. I mean, obviously, if you're doing all the traffic techniques that we're talking about in terms of YouTube video, you're going to get some data, right? Mm-hmm. Possibly you can spend a little money to advertise on Facebook to get some data, right? Because you can get clicks pretty cheap, especially if you're in a market that Facebook or Google approves of, right? So if you're in the gardening niche and you're selling an ebook on gardening, it's not going to be hard to get advertising for that because Facebook allows it, right? So you can go in front of people that are interested in gardening on Facebook and for $5, you can get, probably a couple hundred clicks. That will give you some data, right? It's not going to give you all the data, but you'll at least know if you send a few hundred clicks and it costs you $5, $10, you can get some data. One of the other things, and I don't know if I'm jumping ahead, Rob, if I am, just tell me, approaching people like myself and Rob, there's a right way and a wrong way to do that. And there's a way that will get them to actually help you and want to get them to, test out your offer and give you some data as a favor to you, as opposed to the wrong way, which Rob alluded to earlier, where, I mean, we literally I mean, every time I logged in, into email, I had some affiliate saying, "Hey, I just put out this new dating book. I'm going to give you 50%," which 50% is not at all what you would offer anymore, because the standards of commission have gone up to the 75 to 90% range. I'll give you 50%, and they want me to promote it, right? That's the wrong way to do it. Do you want to talk a little? Do you want us to get into the right way to approach people or do?
Sure. I mean, if you were starting out with your first digital product and you had to start approaching affiliates, how would you go about it? And then I'll share some notes of my own.
Well, I'll tell you exactly how because I started out. I started out as an affiliate, right? And when I started, nowadays, obviously, I have a lot of friends. I have a reputation in the niche. It's not very hard for me to get people to mail. But when I started out, when I first put out my first product, it was called Make Small Talk Sexy. This was back in 2009 or 2009. What I did was I gave value first, right? So I was in the dating advice niche. So instead of approaching people in the dating advice niche and saying, "Hey, I want you to promote my product," I would talk to guys like Rob, who back then had products in the dating advice niche. I would talk to other people in the niche, and I would say, "Hey, I want to interview you and promote your product," right? Now, I didn't have a big list to promote it to, but I had a website, and I said, "I want to feature you on my website." So I went to all these people in my niche, right? And I interviewed them, and I promoted their product. And maybe I made a few sales for them, maybe I didn't. But I was developing a relationship, giving value first, right? Mm-hmm. And other ways that you can do that is you can offer, if you don't want to interview them, you find ways. It's just think of give value in advance, right? So if I was starting out right now and I was in a brand new market, I would look at what skill do I have, right? And everybody has a unique skill. So my skill at the moment is, copywriting is a really skill of mine. Maybe your skill is video editing or audio or some avenue of a skill. And now you can approach somebody with that skill and offer that skill. So if I was like, I've honed my copywriting skills in the dating advice market. If I was moving into, let's say, the health supplement market, which I have moved into, and I wanted to attract partners, I know the value that I can offer is helping them with their copywriting. So I would maybe approach different people and say, "Hey, I was checking out your sales letter. I think it's really good. Here's a couple things that I noticed," right? And I would try to help them in that sense. If somebody wanted to gain favor with me, an easy way to do it, right? If you were into the dating niche, is contact me if you had a skill in, let's say, video editing, and say, "Hey, Bobby, I noticed that here's ways your videos can be improved. In fact, I'd be willing to edit one of your videos for you to show your video editor how he can improve these ways," right? Maybe somebody listening to this video that me and you are doing right now, they may be watching this and going, "Wow, like, why are they not using this software? It's so much better and the video is so much clearer." And then they could contact us and say, "Hey guys, did you know that there's this actually other software that the videos come out better?" And then Rob and I would be like, "Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know about that." And you would have began a dialogue with us in giving value instead of trying to extract value, which is what 90% of people approaching us try to do is, "Hey, promote my stuff," without any sort of value in advance. Would you agree with that, Rob?
Yeah, it's all about giving value first. You hit it right on the head. I would just jotted some notes down. You definitely want to offer some value, initially, rather than trying to extract value right off the bat. That's the fastest way to get ignored. So, if you don't have a mailing list yet, that's okay. There's all kinds of other ways you can offer value. As Bobby suggested, if you have a certain skill, you can use that. Also, you can still send them traffic and offer to promote them. Even though your list is tiny or basically non-existent, you're going to set up your email service provider, as we talk about in the Passive Income Breakthrough course. If somebody says to me, "Listen, I'm just starting out in this business. I have my first product, but I saw your sales page. I'm aware of your products, and I love this, and this about your DSL or your sales page." That's a bit of flattery, and that'll get you everywhere. I love to be flattered. So when somebody contacts me out of the blue, to try to form a relationship, It's good. It's good if I know that they've actually looked at my material. You know, they haven't just heard of me from some other person. They know my products. They know what I sell, and they admire what I'm doing, and can maybe throw in a little detail or a compliment. That'll catch my attention. So if you're starting out and you say to me, listen, I'm just starting out. My list is really small, but I'm setting up my autoresponder for the first time. And if you can give me some email swipes to use, I would love to feature your products in my autoresponder. And I've been in this business long enough to know that there's guys who, Bobby, you and I are good friends with actually to this day, that started out in this business after we got into it. And today they're some of our best affiliates. Now, back then, my door was always kind of open. I always let these people in, and I was willing to respond to their emails. And I have messages in their autoresponders. Like our friend Josh Rosenberg is an example. You know, I sort of mentored him a little bit when he entered the business, and I was very open to speaking to him and helping him a little bit. And, autoresponder messages that he set up 8 years ago still send me clicks, still send sales. We have a whole bunch of friends like that. So I'm very receptive to anybody who offers to put me in their autoresponder. That's a really cool thing. That can make tons of sales over time. Another idea is to feature their product on your download page. That's your most valuable real estate for your product as far as affiliates are concerned. If you offer to put one of their banners on your download page where all your customers get sent to download the product and their banner is on there, that banner is being seen by all of your buyers. Those are your most valuable people. And I would love to have one of my banners in your download area. That's going to definitely send me sales over time. So those are things you can offer, as the carrot to sort of open up the relationship. Another great way to build relationships, and I used to do a lot of this, and Bobby, you still do it, is offer to interview them, to include in your course or to offer as a bonus. There's no better way to start a relationship rather than, meeting them in person is probably the best way, of course. But other than that, I mean, being able to hop on a Skype call or a Zoom call for a half an hour with somebody and get to know them and interview them and flatter them and listen to all of their knowledge and techniques, that's a great way to sort of build the bond with somebody. And now that they're really a part of your product, it gives them that much more incentive to want to promote your product to their followers and their list.
And kind of piggybacking off that, Rob, the interview, you can put it in your own product, but you can also, going all the way back to YouTube. I know, I keep mentioning YouTube, but you can take the interview of yourself and the other expert, right, who has a product. You can put a little 10-minute interview with him on YouTube, put a link to his product on the bottom. And now not only are you doing him a favor, right, by highlighting him on your YouTube channel, but you're also promoting his product, which it's doing him a favor, but you're also making money. If he's got a good product and people buy it, not only are you, the name of the game, right, is making money. And whether you're making money from your own product or promoting somebody else's product, you're still making money. So it's kind of a double win, because not only are you helping him out by doing this interview, putting it on YouTube, and people come, they watch it, and they buy his product. But every time they buy his product, you're actually making money. So it's a double win. But Rob, you said something earlier, right? You said this. You said you mentored our friend Josh, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that mentoring somebody, right, or even the willingness to be mentored, is a great way to get an in, because you kind of mentioned like flattery, right? We all love flattery. And I think it was Benjamin Franklin, right, who said there was something that says when you do somebody a favor, you start to like them. I think he wanted some guy that hate him to like him. So he asked the guy for a favor. The guy lent him a book, and then the guy wound up liking him more. Because when we do a favor for somebody, psychologically, we like them. Now, a favor of mailing my product is not what we're talking about. But flattery, like if an affiliate contacted me and he was like, Bobby, I really like, your emails. The emails you send out are so good. Here's an email I wrote. Do you think you can just take a quick look at it and give me some feedback, right? Mm-hmm. Now, you notice I said email, not sales letter, because I don't have the time to read somebody's 30-page sales letter. But if somebody sends me, a 400-word email and they want some feedback on it, that I'm willing to go, hey, like this guy, he mentioned a couple, specific, like Rob said. Maybe he said, hey, I loved this email of yours, this email of yours. I could tell that he really was genuinely interested in my stuff. And then he said, hey, can you just look at this email and tell me a couple ways that I can make it better? And then that maybe I would respond to him. And now we have this dialogue. Now that I've helped him once, it's very hard for me to not help him again the next time, right? It's kind of like this psychological thing that once we do somebody a favor, it's like that commitment and consistency. Now, if he approaches me again, still, I don't know if I would promote him right away if he was doing this, but if he came back to me but it's kind of a way in, right? It's a way into a relationship that, like you said, with Josh, you guys are still friends, 10 years later.
Yep. It's the rule of reciprocity, as they say in that book, Influence.
Yep.
Actually, I had one affiliate that went on to become a friend and a colleague. He approached me initially with some flattery, wanted to get to know me a little bit, and then shared a set of notes. He'd been to some big conference like the ones that we go to. I couldn't make it there that year. This guy took meticulous notes and said, if you'd like, I'll email you my notes from the conference. I said, hell yeah, man, that sounds awesome. He sent them over. I owed this guy one, and now I'm not going to ignore his emails. I'm not going to ignore him. I'm not going to mail for him tomorrow necessarily, but the door is open, and I like this person now. Another person who I did a lot of business with initially approached me and said, I have a blog that is on the men's dating. It's in the men's dating niche. It's a blog. It's got some pretty good Google rankings. And this was back, years back when SEO was a really big deal to us. And he said, I want to write a blog post about one of your products and give it a good review and give you a backlink to your site from my blog. That sounded great. I was thrilled. And that was it. We became friends and still hang out to this day and do business. So there's all kinds of ways to offer value. You got to be a little bit creative, but never come there right off the bat to somebody with trying to get value. You want to give value. That's huge. Bobby, when I'm looking for a product to promote, one of the biggest things I look for, well, there's two things really. First of all, I want you to make it as easy as possible for me to promote your product. You've got to have a nice affiliate page or an affiliate center. I shouldn't need to have to contact you to try to get a banner or to try to get a correct link. If I visit your sales page, everything has to work properly. Your video should play right away no matter what browser I'm using, no matter whether I'm on my phone or my laptop. So everything's got to be set up in advance for me. If I need to chase you down to get email swipes or banners or anything that I might need, there's a good chance I'll just forget about it and go on to the next thing. I mean, I know, Bobby, in particular, you maintain a very tight mailing schedule. If you're going to give somebody a weekend slot to promote them and they blow it and they're not ready for your promotion, they might need to wait a long time for that opportunity to come around again. So would you agree on those 2 points? You're looking for ease and you're looking for a tight funnel that works correctly, no problems.
Yeah, nothing annoys me more if I'm about to mail somebody's offer and then I go to and I just put it on my phone, because I always check, and most people do, and I'll go on my phone and the video won't play on my phone, and I was about to send an email out to 200,000 people, most of whom are going to read the email on their phone, and the sales video does not play on the phone, and then I have to contact the guy. I mean, I remember one guy recently. He's like, "Oh, can you talk to my developer?" And I wasted like 25 minutes on a Skype call with his developer trying to explain that. And I'm like, this is not my job. I shouldn't have to help your developer figure out your technical issues. So I 100% agree with you that you want to make sure, you want to check your offer in every browser. You want to make sure all your upsells work. You want to make sure everything works, because if an affiliate, if somebody promoting you notices that, they're not going to promote you. And then yes, ease. So, I have an affiliate center, and Rob mentioned it earlier, and I'd be happy to share my affiliate center. It'll give you some idea, but you want to give them there's affiliates promote a variety of different ways, right? Rob mentioned swipes, right? A swipe is when they email your offer to their list. So you want to have those available. You want to have pre-written, proven, tested swipes. And the more tests behind, so I went to an affiliate center recently, and it was emails. And they actually, on the emails, said this email was used by this, and they named the person, and it was their top performing email. So they had like 20 of these emails telling you who used it, who wrote it, and how many sales it generated, which made it really confident going, oh, I'm going to use this email, this email, and this email to mail. So but swipes are just one example, because not all affiliates have email lists. Some affiliates are going to promote you on Facebook. So you want to have Facebook ads. You may not have the money right now to run your own Facebook ads, But if you know your product enough and you're good enough at marketing your product, you can come up with, the images. You can go and find some really good images for Facebook, some text for Facebook, and some headlines, and you can provide these for affiliates. Affiliates may or may not use them, but I can tell you that if I go to an affiliate center and I see pre-written Facebook ads, and especially if I'm the kind of affiliate that runs traffic that way, I'm 100% going to want to test these out. So coming up with Facebook ads, coming up with videos, right? So one of the things that I did for my affiliates, I'm going back to YouTube is, and I knew that YouTube is a great way to make sales. So what I did was I have hundreds of YouTube videos, and I essentially told affiliates, like, you are free to upload my YouTube videos to your channel and put your affiliate link in it. So what happens now? I have, if I search YouTube, there's like 50 different channels with my videos on it. So even if my YouTube channel actually got shut down or whatever, there's still 50 of that same video across YouTube, because I provided these for affiliates. Some affiliates are bloggers, right? So providing them articles that they can use. You want to provide as much information, as much tools as you possibly can. I've provided search, in Google AdWords. I've provided ads to my affiliates for that. I've told them, because I know some affiliates are into SEO, I provided them the top keywords that lead to sales, right? So I had a texting product. So I sent out a list. I said, these are the texting keywords that are most likely to make you sales. And I told them, these are the ones you want to, like, anything you can think of that would help affiliates make sales, give it to them. Because if you want to create an army of affiliates just promoting you, it doesn't take a long time to do the stuff we're talking about. I mean, you can literally, in a couple hours, design your Facebook ads. In a couple hours, figure out what keywords you want to give them. In a couple hours, create some videos. And the more stuff you have to give these affiliates, the more affiliates are going to come, because there's a lot of affiliates, like we're kind of talking about the big guys, right? Promoting you. We mentioned this idea of getting like people who have these huge email lists to mail you. And yes, that's going to bring you hundreds of sales in a day, right? If a guy like myself, if you had a dating product and you came to me or Rob and you asked us to mail, I mean, I could literally send you 100 sales from one email, but that's just part of the ball game. The other part of the ball game is these hundreds, even thousands of affiliates who might be able to send you one sale a day. And these guys don't have huge email lists. These are guys that are just starting out. They may go to a guy whose product is more popular than you, but because they don't have an email list and because he's not giving them anything, they have no real way of selling his product. Then they go to your product and you're giving them like videos and articles and all this sort of stuff. They're going to choose your product over his product, even though he's more established, because you're making it super easy for him.
Yes.
So I would definitely recommend that.
And I'll throw in some tips right here, some more advanced tips that I've used in some of my affiliate centers. If you really want to go above and beyond and have a kick-ass affiliate center, some more ideas would include some articles. I've seen Bobby do this with certain affiliate pages of his. Now, they don't want to copy and paste your articles because then Google will ignore them. But articles that are based on your product, maybe some of the content from your ebook, they can rewrite and use as inspiration. A lot of these affiliates, what they'll do is they'll create review sites. They'll take the name of your product. If your product is called how to beat anxiety, they'll create a review site. How to beat anxietyreview.com, and they'll need content to put on their site. So by providing some articles, you're making it that much easier for them. You may also want to mention in your affiliate center, you are totally open to doing interviews. If people want to call you on Skype and do an interview, you're down. You'll do it and go the extra mile. As far as your email swipes, one of our friends, I always see him do it, from Brett Alcorn. He always mentions in his updates to affiliates, you want custom swipes? Just let me know. He will manually write custom email swipes for you. The reason being, when these products get big and there's tons of affiliates using the same swipes and mailing them out the same exact swipes, if you want to make sure yours stand out, because people on your list may be on 3 or 4 other lists. If you want to have custom swipes, or if you want to offer custom swipes to your affiliates, that's very powerful. And as far as the swipes you have in your affiliate center, the pre-written ones, different lengths of swipes are important. And again, I go back to Bobby. Whenever Bobby mails from one of my offers, he always says, I need a content swipe. And no one else asks for that anymore. No one else does. Other affiliates, they want it to be 3 sentences long. Just they want to mention there's some new mystery technique and click here to reveal the secret. End of email. They want to get a lot of clicks. They want to send a lot of clicks to your offer. That's their strategy. Bobby's strategy is to provide his readers and his subscribers with some good actionable tips and some content and more of a soft sell, and then have a link at the end. So I would say have at least 5 different pre-written email swipes and have them of varying lengths, okay? Some of them will be short just to get clicks, maybe a medium length one, and then maybe some that are content rich and actually are maybe 700 or 800 words long and have several actionable tips in the email. And this brings us to the subject of commissions, which Bobby touched on earlier. You also want to mention on your affiliate page, if you are an affiliate who can drive some serious traffic, like if you're going to buy traffic on Facebook, you will raise their commission. And what that generally means in our business is you'll raise them from 75% to 90% on your front end offer. And then as far as your upsells, you may want to keep more of the money for yourself on your upsells. But with a big time affiliate who's going to send you thousands of clicks every day from paid traffic, I've had affiliates ask me for a full 100% commission across the entire funnel. And I'm not going to say no. And this guy's spending his own money to drive the traffic, and he's sending me tons of leads and tons of customers. And I'm not spending any money on this. So yeah, 100%, why not? However, this is something a lot of people misunderstand. I was on a group on Facebook yesterday, the ClickFunnels group, and there were all these newbies, and they were bickering and arguing about somebody posted, some woman, and she said, I have a brand new product. I'm trying to work the numbers. I'm trying to figure out, should I offer a 40% or a 50% commission? Because my goal is to do 8 figures within 2 years or something, something kind of crazy. And she was totally missing the point. By giving away a 90% commission, assuming her product is any good, she would have 50 or 100 times more affiliates sending her sales. So it's a mentality shift. I understand. I think the same way. You're thinking, well, I created this product from scratch and I created this website. Why should I give more of the money to my affiliates? That's not fair. Well, how would you see it, Bobby?
No, I agree, and I think, on ClickBank wise, I know that people outside of ClickBank have done similar stuff, but on ClickBank wise, I was probably back in 2014. I was probably one of the first people to voluntarily give 90%. When one of my products came out, it was pretty popular, and I knew that it converted well, and I ran a contest for it, and I said 90%. I'm giving everybody 90, and then the contest ended, and I said, you know what? I'm going to allow, and I would have given 100. Back then, ClickBank did not give you the ability to give 100% commission, or I would have given it 100%. Nowadays, they give 100%. And for my product that I released a couple months ago, I gave 100% commission for that. Because the idea, there's something in an affiliate's head, right, where they go, I'm getting 100% of the profit. It just sounds really appealing to them. With that offer that I put out recently where I was giving 100% commission, one of my upsells was a membership program, and I was not giving anything on that upsell because I was giving 100% of the front end. So for the membership on the back end, that was pure profit. Upsells, the other upsells, I was giving a portion of them away. But here's the thing. It's not even just upsells, and it's not even just memberships. It sort of goes back to what we were saying. You can make money promoting other people's products, and that's the name of the game. So if you're giving away 100% of your sale, and let's say you don't even have any upsells, right? You have no upsells. So you may be going, well, I only have one product. I have no upsells, and I'm giving away 100%. How am I possibly going to make any money? Here's how. Because if you have 500 to 1,000 people making sales for your product, now you have 1,000 buyers, not prospects. You have 1,000 people who bought your product, right? Now those people you can then promote affiliate products to, and you can go and promote dozens of products to them. And now it's all pure profit because you're going to be making 90% or 75% of those sales. So, and now you have a way of selling them stuff. So you have to look at it like the name of this game is not, it's not making sales on the front end. It's acquiring customers that you can sell things to over and over again. Figure out how to acquire customers, because if you own 50,000 customers, it doesn't matter what, it doesn't matter. You can sell them anything. You can sell them more of your product. You can sell them coaching. You can sell them other people's products. You can, if you're in the anxiety niche and you have ebooks on anxiety, you can then start promoting them, anti-anxiety supplements, right? There's a lot of supplements that work really well for it. You can sell them coaching to an anxiety. Like, there's so many ways to monetize customers that your thought process should not be, I need to make as much money as possible for my product. It's, I need to acquire as many customers as possible.
And then to bring this full circle, when you've got that list now of 1,000 buyers that you've built up from your affiliates, now you have leverage. And now you've got a list. And now you can go back to other product creators and say, hey, if you mail for my product, I can mail for you now. I can mail for you in return and promote you. I have a list. And so it all works together,
Yeah.
So those are our tips for now. Those are the extreme income multipliers we wanted to tell you about today. I wanted to thank my guest, Bobby Rio, for sharing those tactics. And I'm Rob Wiser, and we'll speak to you soon.
See you guys.